Hi, my name's Alex West. I'm a first-year medical student at New York Medical College. I've seen a lot of sort of video blogs on YouTube about medical school and getting into medical school and being a medical student and all these various things. And a lot of them are from very traditional students, which is awesome. There's a lot of people who take a pretty traditional path through college to medical school. And I just wanted to share some of my experience as a very non-traditional medical student. First of all, I took a year off before college to dance. I was a ballet dancer. And then when I went to college, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. But because I knew I wanted to be a doctor, I didn't want to spend my college studying more science because I knew I'd be studying science for the rest of my life, and I love dance. I had danced professionally, and I wanted to enrich that part of my life. So I actually went to Tisch School of the Arts as a dance major and pre-med student, which was interesting. I'll talk about that experience at another time. But I really got the best of both worlds. I got to go to one of the best dance programs in the country. It opened a lot of doors for me, both in the medical world and in the dance world. And I had opportunities that I never would have had otherwise. And then at the same time at NYU, I got to be in a very rigorous pre-med program, which I will also talk a little bit about again at another time. After I graduated, I took some time off. I had taken my year off before college. Really was an amazing decision, and I grew so much out of that choice, and I needed time again, first of all just logistically, but also because I needed to be a real grown-up before starting medical school. I wanted to pay my own bills and work a real job and really start to develop those life skills that, a lot of people underestimate until they're shoved out into the real world and they realize that they have to make a budget for groceries. So I did that for 2 years. I worked for 2 dermatologists, full-time and then later part-time. And I had more opportunities to dance professionally. Also, when I was in college, I got my yoga teacher training. And I'll talk some about that later as well, and how that is a benefit actually in medical school. And so I had opportunities to teach yoga. I had opportunities to do biomechanics research with a fantastic couple of researchers at Long Island University. And when I applied for medical school the first time, I didn't get any interviews until like January, and I didn't think I was going to get in. I'd applied for a very small number of schools because I was working full-time in dancing. It was hard to study for the MCAT, and everyone who's studied for the MCAT know how that story goes. But I decided to apply anyway, but only to the schools that I really wanted to go to, because I didn't want to end up someplace that was a second or third choice. And I luckily got in. I got an interview. It was on Valentine's Day at New York Medical College, and I went there and fell in love with the school immediately. Again, I'll talk about the program later, but it's just an amazing environment with a bunch of really supportive, nurturing people, and I couldn't be more happy with the program. And in fact, when I left the interview, I said to my boyfriend, I was like, if I don't get in, I'm really seriously considering applying early here next year because I just love it so much here. And I got waitlisted, and I actually didn't find out until June 7th that I had gotten into, I'm sorry, not June 7th, it was July 7th that I had gotten into medical school. And that was the day after I had just accepted a job. It was really competitive, doing research at Hospital for Special Surgery. So I had to turn that job down, and then I went to medical school. So that's sort of my story in a nutshell. Part of what I want to do with this blog is talk about my path to medical school, which was very different from what a lot of people take. But I think it has helped me be successful in both undergrad and now in medical school. I'd like to talk a little bit about how yoga and meditations really helped me in med school. The yoga not only in learning anatomy of the extremities and the back and abdominal area, but also in just maintaining my focus. And meditation has helped with that as well. And lastly, I'm also non-traditional. I don't live in the housing. New York Medical College, most people live in housing. I think there's only maybe 30 out of like 190 people in our class that don't live on campus. And so I live with my serious boyfriend. We have a dog and a cat. And I made the questionable decision of getting a puppy in my first block of medical school, which was a great decision, but at the same time very difficult. So I'm sure she will be on these videos as well at some point. So that's it. I have an anatomy exam tomorrow, and that is going to wrap up this video, but I look forward to sharing my how to get into med school insight and my how to do well in med school insight. Hopefully I'm still to be doing well throughout these videos, and just talk about some things like stress reduction and how to continue to eat healthy and stuff like that, because that's always really important to me as well. I hate to I'm not the person who lives off of Red Bull and cat naps, so I'll talk a little bit about that too. Because you really don't need to never sleep and eat like a crazy person, both in undergrad and med school. There's no reason for it, and it's really not helpful. So we'll talk about that too. All right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and I will be posting again soon. Okay, bye.